co-host, yes. Helene, çarte mikrofonu da dajt Gerara.
Hello everyone, warm greetings from Georgia. I am Elena Shalverte. I am very glad to see you. I'm sure we will have an unforgettable day. We have amazing young speakers today, and we are looking forward to their remarkable talk and presentation. Today is really amazing day. We hear the voice of Yad from Georgia and other country. Oh my God, this is a wonderful fact. Thanks to the project leaders Inga Kharchilava and special Mr. Peyush Pandit for this opportunity. A big thank you to everyone who joined us live today. And it with great pleasure that I introduce you to IIU. International Internship University is a leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in the delivering innovative programs. Globally, it's the truth name for quality training programs and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. IIU is enterprising the conventional education system by cutting down the additional costs and providing access to more than 1,000 class courses and internship to their learners across the globe. With the help of its thousand class global educators. IIU has formed these four councils, namely Women Entrepreneurs Council, International Students Development Council, International Youth Development Council, International Council of Educators. The main objective behind the councils is to provide support in every respect to the students, youth, women, entrepreneurs, and educators. In a short span of time, IIU has spread its wings in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Peyush Pandit Sir, a committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education to students from various social and cultural background. He has publicized the World Education Policy, One Education, One Foundation, and One World. The visionary Peyush Pandit had just one dream: no child should be deprived of education. He is working towards it day and night. He is safeguarding and promoting education and well-being of learners at all time of life. A commendable. The sky is the limit for your dedication and hard work. You are a source of inspiration for us young people, and not only young people. Thank you very much for all you do make education shine. God bless you and give you strength. Please keep up the amazing and important work. But do not forget sometimes rest. Please take care, we need you. Now I would like to invite the project director, head of Europe, the country director, Ms. Inga Kharchilava. Please tell us your reliable word and motivate the youth.
Wow. Poland. Thank you so much. You are really and special day today. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you very much. We appreciate your efforts and look forward
Yes.
to many
Thank
more
you.
new projects. Keep shining. And so
Yes, dear.
our
Yes,
first,
thank you.
so our first speaker will be Christian Pesquia from the beautiful country of Romania, and he will give us a presentation.
Greetings everyone, I'm Cristian and I'm a student at Superior School of Commerce Nicolae Crețulescu from Romania. Before I begin my
Christian,
presentation,
a bit louder if you can.
Before I begin my presentation, I wish to thank International Internship University and its founder Sir Peyush Pandit for the opportunity to be at this great event. Those who are students today are the adults who will build tomorrow's society, and that is why it is important for our voices to be heard and our opinions to be taken into considerations. I have chosen to speak about Sustainable Development Goal 13, climate action, because we have only one planet and we must do everything in our planet to help it.
Most welcome.
The main driver of climate change is the greenhouse effect. Some gases in the Earth's atmosphere act a bit like the glass in a greenhouse, trapping the sun's heat and stopping it from leaking back into space and causing global warming. Many of these greenhouse gases occur naturally, but human activities are increasing the concentration of some of them in the atmosphere, in particular carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, nitrous oxide, and as well fluorinated gases. Climate is the average weather in a place over many years. Climate change is a shift in those average conditions. The rapid climate change we are now seeing is caused by humans using oil, gas, and coal for their homes, factories, and transport. When these fossil fuels burn, they release greenhouse gases, mostly carbon dioxide. These gases trap the sun's heat and cause the planet's temperature to rise. The world is now about 1.2 Celsius warmer than it was in the 19th century, and the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere has risen by 50%. Burning coal, oil, and gases produces carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide. Cutting down deforestation. Trees help to regulate the climate by absorbing CO2 from the atmosphere. When they are cut down, that beneficial effect is lost, and the carbon stored in the trees is released into the atmosphere, adding to the greenhouse effect. Increasing livestock farming, cows and sheep produce large amounts of methane when they digest their food. Fertilizers containing nitrogen produces nitrous oxide emissions. And we must protect our planet before it is too late. Let's all join. Let's all join Project Climate Action. The Earth needs positive reaction.
Wow, Thank you so much. Thank you. Your presentation really very, very important. This topic also is very important. Thank you for sharing, Ellen.
Thank you very much. This was a really great presentation. There was a lot of interesting information here. Many thanks for such a presentation. And let's move to Georgia. Boys, Georgi and Nika will give us the presentation.
Hello, I will share. Is it here?
Yes, let's start.
Okay.
Hello, we are Nika and Georgi from Georgia, from Khashuri. We are studying in Khashuri's 8th public school. Today we are going to talk about most specific problem in this world, hunger. Hungary's Sustainable Development Goal 2 aims to achieve zero hunger, end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture.
Hungary. How many people are hungry? According to the United Nations, there are about 690 million people who are hungry, which accounts for slightly less than 10% of world population. How many people go to bed hungry? Once in every 9 people go to bed hungry each night, including 20 million people currently at risk of famine in South Sudan, Somalia, Yemen, and Nigeria.
Africa. When it comes to Africa, many people relate it to being poor, undeveloped, and largely unknown. What many people do not know is the specific challenge of plugging the content. One challenge that remains endemic is that of hunger. All across Africa, there are more than 200 million people facing starvation. In fact, in countries like war-torn Somalia, more than 200,000 people have starved to death. To save people from this catastrophe, we have to help people in need with a small contribution that can help transform their lives.
How COVID-19 is causing a hunger panic. The new coronavirus has killed more than a quarter of a million people in just a few months, but the pandemic's effect on food, household, job insecurity will last years. Disrupted supply chains, trade barriers, and the holding of food supplies are threatening livelihoods of food to places that need them most. Compounding such challenges to food supply is the sheer scale of poverty, which is so. In many low and middle income countries, the workforce has a high proportion of informal workers who struggle to survive on hourly or daily wage and often have little to fall back on. The total loss of income from lockdowns and curfews has been devastating. For example, the International Labour Organization estimates that in India, about 400 million workers in the informal economy are at the risk of falling deeper into poverty. During the pandemic, the United Nations Development Programme has said that COVID-19 could wipe out half of all jobs across Africa.
Climate. Last summer in Georgia, there were high temperatures, after which the crops spoiled. The climate will change further, and higher temperatures will rise and destroy crops not only in Georgia but all over the world.
School project. At school, we are planning a project where we will go into primary classes and introduce the causes of hunger. We will also talk about the poorest countries and then listen to their opinion.
What should we do? Livestock and fishing. Livestock are the domesticated animals raised in agriculture setting to provide labor and produce commodities such as meat, eggs, milk, fur, leather, and wool. Fishing is the activity of trying to catch fish. We can use fish as a food. Growing plants. People can grow plants for themselves and they can make food with them if they have not money to buy them. Farming. A farm, also called an agricultural holding, is an area of land that is devoted primarily to agriculture process with a primary objective of producing food and their other crops. It is a basic facility in food production.
How we can solve this? Government should increase social assistance. There should be more places where everything is free. In supermarkets, there should be discount for sanity. There should be free meals in schools. There should be more jobs. Now I will share with you about hunger.
Thank you for your attention.
Oh, great job.
We want zero hunger.
Thank you.
1 minute,
What does
Ellen.
that mean? It means access to nutritious food for everyone, starting with those furthest behind, from birth to childhood, adolescence, motherhood, and old age. And when times are tough or disaster strikes, it means protecting our precious food supplies. But how can this be done? By growing and consuming a variety of crops, investing in family farmers to grow more and better, and in roads and storage to ensure food gets to market. So the 2 billion most vulnerable people can help themselves. At the moment, we waste a third of what we produce, which costs our planet precious resources. Overall, hunger and malnutrition cost our economy $3.5 trillion every year, while the cost of creating systems to fix hunger are less than a tenth of that, $270 billion each year. So it would be crazy not to get this done. We're already on our way. And if we all work together, after 15 years, there will be no more hunger. Zero hunger isn't just a possibility, it's a reality.
Thank you for attention.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, guys, for such as interesting and necessary information. A really good job, thanks. And
Thank you.
our next speaker is Barbara Tikashvili from Georgia. Good luck, Barbara. You can start.
My dear Barbara, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let's start. IIU stage is yours. Please share your presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
Hello, hello, dear Julia. Thank
Hello,
you.
hello.
Let's start. Check, etc. The results. Great.
Hello everyone, my name is Barbara Tikashvili. I studied in Basel Public School. I am glad to participate in this conference. Thanks for this opportunity. Gender equality. Gender equality, also known as sexual equality or equality of the sexes, is the state of equality or access to resources and opportunities regardless of gender, including economic participation and decision making, and the state of valuing different behaviors, aspiration, and needs equally regardless of gender. Gender equality is a goal while gender neutrality and gender equity are practices and ways of thinking that help in achieving the goal. Gender parity, which used to measure gender balance in a given situation, can aid in achieving gender equality, but is not the goal in and of itself. Gender equality is more than just equal representation. It is strongly tied to women's rights and often requires policy change. As of 2070, the global movement gender equality has not incorporated the proposition of genders besides women and men, or gender identities outside of the gender binary. UNICEF says gender equality means that women and men and girls and boys enjoy the same
Barbara,
rights.
next slide, please.
Oh, sorry. UNICEF says gender equality means that women and men and girls and boys enjoy the same rights, resources, opportunities, and protection. It does not require that girls and boys or women and men be the same, or that they be treated exactly alike. For more than 30 years, UNFA has been advocating for gender equality and women's rights, promoting legislative and political reforms, collecting gender-sensitive data, and supporting projects that improve women's health and expand that life choices. Given the critical needs to strengthen the national referral mechanism for domestic violence against women and the needs to strengthen to methodological approach to responding to gender-based violence. UNFA's efforts to strengthening of the health systems response to violence against women and domestic violence. To this end, the fund uses the Population Fund regional concept of a multi-sectoral approach to responding to gender-based violence. This concept is the basis for interagency and multi-sectoral intervention and referral actions, establishing a general methodological framework for the referral actors. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much. Gender equality is really, really important. Thank you very much for your good work and the presentation. Our session is continuous. Our next great speaker is Nata Kiladze from Georgia. Good luck, Nata. The stage is yours.
Is it shared?
Yes, I see your presentation. Please start.
Hello, I'm Nata Kiladze. I study at Kashmiri Public School number 8, and I am in the 9th grade. Today I want to talk about hunger, which is the second goal of sustainable development. I'll go briefly and say what is the second goal of sustainable development. It ends hunger, achieves food security, improves nutrition, and promotes sustainable agriculture. What's the problem? Currently, our soil, clean water, oceans, and forests are rapidly being degraded. Climate change is increasingly affecting the resources we depend on, increasing risks of associated with disasters such as droughts and floods. People are no longer able to find enough financial resources from their land, which forces them to migrate to the city in search of new opportunities. Due to poor food security, millions of children are stranded due to insufficient food. Hunger in the past. In the past, when people were weaker in the face of natural events and it was difficult to live in such as environment, famines caused by unfavorable environmental factors were frequent. Many such facts are described in history. Famine, lately, and achievements. During the last period, humanity has achieved impressive successes. The income of the population has increased, the standard of living has increased, and the average life expectancy has increased by 8–10 years. This is a very important achievement. It is now possible to take steps and eliminate hunger once and for all. This means taking actions such as promoting agricultural sustainability and smallholder farmers. But despite the achieved successes, scientists make pessimistic forecasts based on actual analysis. We need to fundamentally change the global food and agriculture system to feed the 821 million people who are hungry today and the 2 billion who are at risk of starvation by 2050. We must stop hunger once and for all. Say no to hunger. Thank you for
Thank you very much. I was very interesting in the presentation. Thank you very much for such a great speech. Really important here to consider. The next speaker is again from Georgia, Lizzie Kopadze. Lizzie, can you share your opinion? Are you ready?
Yeah, yes. Hello everyone, my name is Lizzie Wabaze and I'm a student from Donis Public School and my presentation is about the quality of education. The quality education, ensure inclusive, yes. The targets. Everyone can help to make sure that we meet the global goals. Use these 10 targets to create mass.
Yes.
Mass. Irregular. The targets. Everyone can help to make sure that we meet the global goals. Use these 10 targets to create action to ensure quality education, free primary and secondary education. By 2030, ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes. Equal access to quality pre-primary education. By 2030, ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality and childhood development, care, and pre-primary education so that they are ready for primary education. Equal access to affordable technical, vocational, and higher education. By 2030, ensure equal access for all women and men to affordable and quality technical, vocational, and tertiary education, including university. Increase the number of people with relevant skills for final success. With final success. By 2030, substantially increase the number of youth and adults who have relevant skills, including technical and vocational skills for employment, decent jobs, and entrepreneurships. Eliminate all discrimination in education. By 2030, eliminate gender disparities in education and ensure equal access to all levels of education and vocational training for the vulnerable, including persons with disabilities, indigenous peoples, and children in vulnerable situations. Universal literacy and numeracy. By 2030, ensure that all youth and sustainable proportion of adults, both men and women, achieve literacy and numeracy. Education for sustainable development and global citizenship. By 2030, ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyle, human rights, gender equality, promotion of culture of peace and non-violence, global citizenship, and appreciation of culture, diversity, and cultures contribution, sustainable development. Build and upgrade inclusive and safe schools. Build and upgrade education styles that are child disability and gender sensitive and provide safe, non-violent, inclusive, and effective learning environments for all. Explain higher education scholarships for developing countries. By 2020, substantially expand globally the number of scholarships available to developing countries, in particular least developed countries, small island, developing states, and African countries, for involvement in higher education, including vocational training and information and communications technology, technical engineering, and scientific programs in developed countries and other developing countries. Increase the supply of qualified teachers in developing countries. By 2030, substantially increase the supply of qualified teachers, including through international cooperation for teachers training in developing countries, especially least developed countries and small islands developing states. Getting quality education by every students nowadays because it is one of the 17 sustainable development goals. But unfortunately, currently more than 265 million children do not receive school education. Among them, 22% are children of primary education. Causes are varied. For example, lack of opportunities, economic backgrounds, or support. Sometimes even those children who go to school suffer from a lack of basic literacy skills. Education liberates the intellect, unlocks the imagination, and is fundamental for self-respect. It is the key to prosperity and opens a world of opportunities, making it possible for each of us to contribute to a progressive, healthy society. Learning benefits every human being and should be available to all. Reasons of lack of the quality education, lack of properly trained teachers, bad conditions in the schools, and lack of access to education for children living in rural areas. There are plenty of examples which support my statement. One of them is when in the spring of 2020, while the world was declared a pandemic, schools tried to provide their students with online classes, but it seemed that not only students but also teachers were not enough ready for this. On the one hand, not all students had the opportunity to attend online classes by the cause of lack of electronic devices or even the internet. In this case, the state was obligated to provide assistance to those children who were prevented from receiving education, which is according to the Constitution of Georgia. But people's rights were not protected. They were not provided by full-fledged education. That's why their rights were violated. On the other hand, teachers were not ready enough for such a kind of challenge. They were not able to manage online classes perfectly. general problems with teachers. It's disappointing that nowadays there are teachers who have not received a full-fledged education yet and are working with children in many children. In many cases, they do not know the right approach. For instance, how to impart knowledge to their students. Many teachers demand more from pupils than they can handle, which causes them stress. Self-assessment. There are frequent cases when teachers lower their students' self-assessment and make him or her believe that he or she has got no ability to do something and only other students have opportunity to take part in any kind of activities because of their preference. It's clear that such kind of approach demotivates children and reduces the interest of subject. Teachers also tend to single out children and compare them in each other's presence, which is also wrong. According to them, comparison of children increases the quality of learning with each other learning. In fact, it decreases it on the controller and puts children and under immense pressure. Lack of schools. There are many towns and villages around the world where there are no schools at all, and students have to go to other villages or towns, which is a big problem. In most cases, the main concern is the transport. I consider the only major way to solve these problems is to build more educational schools. Ways to solve these problems. In my opinion, in order to solve these problems, it is necessary to involve all organizations in educational field and try to solve these problems together. Advices which I would give them: certified teachers. Teachers should be selected based on their education and experience. The right approach of learning. Some teachers do not know how to teach their students, make the lesson interesting and understandable for them. Good attitude of teachers toward children. Students should not be afraid of teacher and asking questions in class. There should be friendly attitude between teacher and student. Teachers should not raise their volume to students. There should be things to motivate students. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Wow.
Thank you very much. All speakers discuss very interesting and important issue. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Lizzie Bliadze from Georgia. Please share your view. You can start. I wish you success. I'm sure your presentation will be very interesting.
Congratulations, all students. Really wonderful job today. We have a really amazing presentation. Wow, well done. Thank you so much, all. Also, thank you so much. A great teachers. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead.
Please mute your microphone.
But, sorry.
No problem. Let's start.
Hello, my name is Lizzie Bliadze, and I'm from Khashur's number 8 school. And today I'm going to talk about world hunger and solutions for world hunger. First, what is the definition of hunger? Hunger is the term used to define periods when populations are experiencing severe food insecurity, meaning that they go for entire days without eating due to lack of money, lack of access to food or other resources. Hunger is the distress associated with lack of food. The threshold for food deprivation or undernourishment is fewer than 1,800 calories per day. And on this sensation actioned by the lack of food, a weakened condition brought by profound lack of food. So what exactly causes hunger? First thing that causes hunger is food waste. According to the World Food Programme, 1/3 of all food produced, over 1 billion tons of it, is never consumed. What's more, producing this waste food also uses other natural resources that, when threatened, have a ripple effect in the countries that are already hit hardest by hunger, poverty, and climate change. Producing this wasted food requires an amount of water equal to the annual flow of Russia's Volga River and nearly 3 billion tons of greenhouse gases to the atmosphere. Second is poverty. Poverty and hunger go hand in hand. Families trapped in a cycle of poverty usually can't afford nutritious food, leading to undernourishment. In turn, undernourishment makes it difficult for people to earn more money so that they can afford healthy food. Families living in poverty might also sell their livestock or tools to supplement their income. Third is food shortages. Across regions like the Sahel and the Horn of Africa, farming families experience periods before harvest known as hungry seasons. There are the times of year when food supplies from the previous harvest are exhausted, but the chance to replenish supplies is still some time off. This leaves families forced to skip one or more meals each day in the period before the next harvest, which could be months away. Four is poor economy. Much like the poverty-hunger cycle, a country's economic resilience has a direct effect on its nutritional resilience. For example, Liberia's overall economic troubles depend after the Ebola outbreak in 2014. 8 years after the end of the epidemic, 50% live below the poverty line. Working towards economic stability overall will have a ripple effect on the other causes of world hunger cited on this list. 5 is gender inequality. In its Sustainable Development Goals, the UNA reveals if women farmers had the same access to resources as men, the number of hungry in the world could be reduced by up to 150 million. Female farmers are responsible for growing, harvesting, preparing, and selling the majority of food in poor countries. Women are on the front lines of the fight against hunger, yet they are frequently underrepresented at the forums where important decisions on policy and resources are made. Key facts about global hunger today. Around the world, more than enough food is produced to feed the global population, but as many as 828 million people still go hungry. After slowly declining for a decade, world hunger is on the rise, affecting nearly 10% of people globally from 2019 to 2022. The number of undernourished people grew by as many as 150 million, a crisis driven largely by conflict, climate change, and the COVID-19 pandemic. So, what are the ways to stop world hunger? Work tirelessly for an international organization, or is soon possible? There are hundreds of theories on how we can end world hunger, and activists debate many of them. Some have been effective and others not. But one thing is clear, and that is that we must do something. Discuss below are 9 ways on how we can end world hunger. First is sustainable food. Heifer International is an organization that helps transform agriculture. They found projects so people can provide food for themselves in a sustainable way. This is very powerful because ultimately we would like to see many impoverished areas not reliant on aid from foreign countries, which often causes debt, and able to create their own steady supply of food. Second is access to credit. Many organizations are helping people in poor countries to gain access to credit. Most of those credit loans are repaid, and they have created many industries, such as firms that help create a sustainable provision for people and also develop nations economically. If those people don't have access to credit, they cannot start up industries that combat poverty. Third is food donations. Although ideally it will be better to get the entire world to a place of sustainability, it is not something that will happen overnight. In the meantime, it is important to lend a helping hand. The impact of donations, both cash and food, have had an immense impact on world hunger. Organizations such as Food for All have a customers donate $1 to $5 when checking out. Now, last year they raised a whopping $60 million to fight world hunger. 4 is urban farming. Almost 1/4 of undernourished people live in an urban environment. Recently, there has been a big push for urban farming. Urban farming empowers families to gain control over their own food source. 5 is access to education. Education is the best weapon against poverty and hunger. It is especially powerful in underdeveloped countries. Education means better opportunity and more access to income and food. Additionally, some countries have food for education programs where students are given free food for coming to school. Now, this may seem like a basic idea in the United States, but it is life-saving in many underdeveloped nations. 6 is government intervention. Aid to foreign nations needs to be more focused on government intervention, like programs that provide food to mothers and their children in poor areas. Now, this is not much different from many programs available in the United States. 7 is social change. This is extremely hard and will not take place overnight. However, many social issues such as war pose a fundamental problem to halting world hunger. Ideally, this will happen when world powers such as United States and many Western European nations chose to focus on solving those issues instead of exacerbating them. However, this can only start when people in developed nations begin to care about those issues as well and pressure their governments to be productive in ending conflict. Eight is empowering women. There is a direct correlation with hunger and gender inequalities. Empowering women to gain access to food, be providers, and lead their families has had a major impact on food access and ability to change financial situations. And the last one is birth control education. High birth rates pose a problem when trying to solve hunger. Many people are not educated on reproduction or do not have access to contraceptives. Gaining access to contraceptives allows for family planning and economic freedom. That's it. Thank you for your attention.
Wow.
Thank you very much. I was really right. Your presentation was really very interesting and extraordinarily many thanks for such hard work. We have an amazing guest today, a great teacher from Romania, Miss Laura. Please share your thought on today's session, and we see amazing presentation, and your student was amazing too.
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to thank IIU for this wonderful opportunity, and I want to congratulate all the students and educators who motivated them to be here today. Yes, dear students, your presentations were simply wonderful, amazing work, and it is so wonderful to see you preoccupied by sustainable development goals and preoccupied by saving this world and making it a better place. Your generation is the one who has to make a change. And the fact that you are doing this in an active way is exactly what the world needs. Congratulations. You are amazing. Well done.
Thank you so much,
Nice.
dear.
Thank you very much. You was wonderful teacher. Thank you. And the next speaker is Mariam Lomsaze from Khashuri. Khashuri, well done. Good luck, Mariam. We are ready to listen you to presentation.
Hello, I'm Mariam. I'm from Khashuri, studying in Khashuri's public school number 8, and today I'm gonna introduce presentation about quality education. First of all, I'm gonna tell you plan of that. First is that safe, inclusive, and positive environments in school that are created. The second, inequality is elemented in the educational system, and the third, the number of well-trained and qualified teachers. First is that how to create an inclusive school culture. First, to create a happy classroom environment, three things must exist. First is that students need to feel safe, students need to feel validated, and students need to be provided with an approach to be successful. For students to be safe in the classroom, they must be an element of control. The teacher must introduce processes and policies that promote physical, social, and emotional safety. Be firm and honest. Empower students to have a voice in their classroom and listen and respect their feelings. Modeling behavior you want to see your students will provide them with a good role model that they will be inspired to follow. The second is educational equality. Educational equality is an actual description of academic resilience, including but not limited to school funding, qualified and expanded teachers, books, and technologies to socially excluded communities. Educational is assigned to economic growth, poverty eradication, gender equality, public health, conflict resolution, and the transportation to submitted production and consequence. Ensuring equality in addition can further essentially and attributes of this and other sustainable development goals. And third is the number of the qualified teachers. Needless to say that the role of the teacher has changed a lot with the production of detailed media. How? Let's go back to the past and have a look. It used to be simple before. A decade ago, teachers were responsible for delivering information. No, just that they were seen as lecturers or persons who delivered knowledge and conducted tests. They are even perceived as answers to every question possibly and gatekeeper of all the decisions and information. Do you also believe a well-qualified teacher is important in a student's life? Research shows that teachers' subject make knowledge is regulated associated with student learning. In this era of high standards and high expectations, have a well-qualified teacher has never been more important. Come, this blog will help you know why it said so. Thank you for your attention.
Super.
Yeah, thank you very much. I learned a lot for this presentation. Thank you very much, Mariam. Our session is coming to end. We have a last and extraordinary speaker who will introduce us to one of the goals of sustainable development. Katie Sopromadze, please share your presentation and share your opinion.
Hello everyone, my name is Katie Sopramadze and I'm from St. Ninos Aires Orthodox Gymnasium, student of 10th class, and I'm going to talk about climate change and art, the justice of climate without mercy. To overcome the climate change for a healthy environment is one of the main priorities of United Nations Development Program. Climate change is no longer some far-off problem. It is happening here. It is happening now. Barack Obama. Climate change, which has become one of the most discussed topic of our time, is viewed as one of the biggest danger of the world. It equally affects every one living being, be it human or any other creature. In this process, every person's knowledge, education, and individual actions play important role. We all must realize that through our daily actions, we harm the nature and start living in a healthier lifestyle to not increase the climate change. The climate change and art. Art has immense power. It can impact an individual or society. Through art, we can send different messages to different society. Through the modern forms of art, showing cases the ecological problems and protesting pollution of Earth is quite common. 700 Oaks is one of the most ambitious projects by German postmodernist Joseph Beuys. In the year of 1982, during an international exhibition in the Castle City, 700 logs of basalt were stacked on each other. According to Beuys' idea, exactly this amount of oaks had to be planted from Germany to Russia. In order to make counting the trees easier, they placed a stone tile, which added an intriguing effect to the process. Joseph Beuys had planned to visit every town in Russia and plant an oak tree there. This is thought to be the first protest for economy from the place to art. Rios para la vida, Rivers for Life. On the 19th January of 2012, artists had a protest on the beachside in Rio de Janeiro. 1,500 people's bodies created a great image which pointed at the importance of free rivers and generally poor sources of energy, such as sun's energy. Along with the image, words Rios para la vida could be read. The goal of this protest was to protest against the electric station that was being built on River Amazon. angels and umbrellas. In the year of 2015 in Paris, a conference was held about the climate change, which was followed by several important protests, among which is a performance angels and umbrellas. Activists were demanding for large administration not to receive financial support through big gaining corporations. Climate justice, no excuses, fossil-free culture. Activists use the large glass pyramid to write slogans on open umbrellas. The art of posters. The art of posters had a huge impact in terms of protection of nature. It expresses its wish to protect the nature in the visual format that all can understand. In the subject of art, we discussed a complex work in which my classmates and I created posters on the topic of economy. In the complex work, there were steps that had several different activities. The discussion of economic problems, questions, and answers. Using posters presented on the slides that were created by Greenpeace, an organization dedicated to protection of nature, we held a discussion, described and analyzed the said posters. Analysis of posters, questions and answers. We painted posters about ecology topic, and there is complex work that I made. Complex work by my classmates. We also made a presentation. At our school, we celebrate Earth Day. We implemented project at school, protect environment around you and healthy lifestyle. We plant the tree sapling because we want green all around, be green and save the earth. Currently, a project is happening in the school, more green around us. Primary and secondary school students are working on the project. This is the used literature. Thank you for attention. That's all.
Wow, I really like Katie. I think everyone will agree that this was one of the best presentations. Thank you very, very much. Everything was wonderful. Yeah. And now, I don't know what to say. I'm just excited. It was really the most important youth conference. The youth of the whole world listen to the voice of the youth, and together we will unite the whole world. Together we will fight to slow problems. Today, in the 21st century, we see many problems, and the 17 goals sustainable development inject this. Many thanks to all the inspiring young speakers from Georgia. Special thanks to Mr. Piyush Pandit, who created the unique university and united the whole world. Many thank you, the project director, Ms. Inga, who also united European youth. I want to wish you all success. Yes, I believe that we close many good things together. IIU is the change. IIU brings the change. IIU is the revolution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, all. Well done, Romania also. Thank you all, and congratulations. Well done. Today I am really very happy because today we have very wonderful and important conference. Young students today, really, I don't know. Well done. Thank you. Congratulations.